Let's go Falcons! After the last few games, a good portion of the fans started to doubt whether the Falcons would be able to win the NFC South, and I want to hear from you. If you believe the Falcons will win, click the like button and comment below, I believe in the Falcons. But if you're the one who doesn't believe, type here in the comments, Falcons are out. Let's see what our fan base thinks. Alright, now let's talk about what's happening in Atlanta and why this week is shaping up to be a game changer for our team. First, the Falcons are expected to welcome back a critical piece of their offense this week, starting center Drew Dalman. If you've been following the season closely, you know how big of a deal this is. Dalman hasn't played since week 3 after suffering an ankle injury in the game against the Chiefs. Since then, Ryan Newsel has stepped up admirably to lead the offensive line, and while he's done a solid job under the circumstances, having Dalman back could be the boost this offense desperately needs. Head coach Raheem Morris addressed the situation earlier this week. Here's what he had to say. "I feel good about Dalman starting this week," Morris shared. "But don't hold me accountable for that and yell at me next week." So while it's not 100% confirmed, the optimism is real and it couldn't come at a better time. Dalman has been a rock for this team, developing into one of the league's best centers since being drafted in the 4th round in 2021. His return could help stabilize an offense that has struggled to find consistency, especially over the last 2 games where they've managed just 23 combined points. And here's the thing, the Falcons need Dalman back now more than ever. This Sunday, they face the Los Angeles Chargers, a team that, despite its ups and downs, remains one of the strongest teams in the AFC. It's a tough matchup, but it's also an opportunity for Atlanta to snap its 2-game losing streak and regain momentum heading into the final stretch of the season. The big picture. This Falcons offense has shown flashes of brilliance throughout the season. Through the first 11 games, it's been the strength of the team, but inconsistency has plagued the unit. With Dalman back anchoring the line, the hope is that Atlanta can find more rhythm and efficiency, especially on the ground. Dalman himself reflected on his time away from the field, saying, "When you're not the only one who has to perform every Sunday, you get a chance to pay attention to some other things. It's been good to see the big picture." That perspective could prove invaluable when Dalman returns to action. His ability to read defenses, make adjustments, and lead the line is something the Falcons will lean on heavily against the Chargers' defense that can bring the heat. Stopping the run, the key to beating the Chargers. On the other side of the ball, the Falcons' defense is preparing for a Chargers team that will be without their top running back, J.K. Dobbins. Dobbins is out with a sprained MCL, leaving the Chargers to rely on Gus Edwards and rookie Kamani Vidal, a Marietta native. While this might seem like a break for Atlanta, head coach Raheem Morris isn't taking it lightly. "They're going to run the football," Morris said. "They haven't been as effective as they want to be in their run game, but that's not going to stop them from trying." The Falcons' run defense has been improving, allowing fewer rushing yards per game since week 5. This Sunday, the challenge will be to maintain that momentum and force the Chargers into a one-dimensional game plan. Grady Jarrett, one of the leaders on the Falcons' defensive line, puts it best. "Any week, it's about stopping the run. I feel like we've gotten better at that. Just something we have to continue to build off." Why this week matters. Here's the bottom line, Falcons fans, this game is about more than just breaking a losing streak. It's about proving that this team can step up when it matters most. With the playoffs still within reach and a chance to solidify their position in the NFC South, the Falcons can't afford to let this opportunity slip away. Dalman's return could be the catalyst for a stronger offensive performance, while the defense will need to stay disciplined and capitalize on the absence of Dobbins. If Atlanta can execute on both sides of the ball, this could be the turning point we've all been waiting for. Now it's your turn. So, what do you think, Falcons fans? How big of an impact do you think Drew Dalman will have on the offense? Are you confident in the defense's ability to stop the Chargers' rushing attack? And most importantly, do you believe this team has what it takes to make a playoff push? Let's talk about the big talk surrounding Kirk Cousins. It seems like every week there's more talk about the Falcons potentially moving on from Cousins after this season. ESPN insiders Jeremy Fowler and Dan Graziano recently weighed in, saying the next 6 games will be crucial in determining Cousins' future in Atlanta. Cousins, who signed a 4-year, $180 million contract with $100 million guaranteed last offseason, has shown flashes of brilliance but has also left fans wanting more. He started the year strong, throwing at least 3 touchdown passes in 3 of his first 9 games, but the last 2 weeks have been a disappointment. Here's the breakdown. In 11 games, Cousins has thrown for 17 touchdowns and 9 interceptions, averaging 255.2 passing yards per game, which ranks 4th in the NFL. However, his 96.6 passer rating and 56.8 adjusted QBR suggest there's room for improvement. So could the Falcons trade him this offseason? Fowler notes that while Cousins has a no-trade clause, his willingness to move would likely come down to fate. He'd like a contender, not a team in rebuilding mode. For now, it seems unlikely the Falcons will part ways with Cousins, especially if he leads the team to a playoff berth and, dare we say, a postseason win. Of course, there's the Michael Penix Jr. factor. Drafted 8th overall, Penix is seen as the future of this franchise. At 25, he's mature and ready to step in when the time comes, but it's clear the Falcons aren't going to rush this transition. For now, Penix remains a developmental piece, and Cousins is the only center with everything to prove in these final games. This Sunday, the Falcons take on the Los Angeles Chargers in a game that could significantly boost their playoff chances. Atlanta currently has a 68% chance of making the postseason, but a win against the 7-4 Chargers would boost that number to 82%. Despite being 2.5-point underdogs, this is a great opportunity for the Falcons to solidify their lead in the NFC South. Now, let's shift gears to the defense, where Matthew Judon has been a major talking point. The veteran edge rusher, acquired via trade from the Patriots, has failed to live up to expectations. Head coach Raheem Morris didn't hold back this week, expressing disappointment with Judon's performance. "I can't sit here and tell you that we got what we wanted out of him. That would be an absolute lie," Morris said. Judon, 32, was brought in to fill the void left by Calais Campbell and Bud Dupree, but the results haven't been there. In 11 games, Judon leads the team with just 2.5 sacks, a far cry from the dominance he displayed with the Patriots before his 2022 biceps injury. To put it bluntly, the Falcons' pass rush ranks dead last in the NFL with only 10 sacks this season. Morris remains optimistic, though, saying, "We have 6 games on our schedule. I'm looking forward to him really helping us down the stretch." Despite their defensive struggles, the Falcons are 6-5 and currently sit atop the NFC South. The division lead, coupled with their sweep of the Buccaneers, gives Atlanta a solid path to the playoffs. But with tough matchups ahead, including this week's game against the Chargers, the Falcons need to show they can elevate their play on both sides of the ball. All right, Falcons fans, it's your turn. What do you think about the Kirk Cousins conversation? Should the Falcons keep him beyond this season, or is it time to hand the reins to Michael Penix Jr.? What about Judon? Can he change things in these final games? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for all the latest updates. We're entering a critical phase, and you won't want to miss a second of it. Go Falcons!